this is the area that we're going to roast 1 pound of our new coffee beans. The first thing I'm going to do, I've already got everything plugged in. So I'm going to put this lid on here, the oven roaster, and we're going to turn it on. Now we are outside, so you're going to get wind noise and the dogs playing over there with this frisbee, and there might even be a train come by. So you just have to excuse all the background noise. And like I said just a minute ago, we put the lid on and we're going to turn it on. We're just going to turn the heat all the way up, which it already is. And then we're going to turn the timer on all the way. And right now we're just going to let this heat up. It's kind of too cold out here, but it's chilly out here. And I want to preheat this just like you would preheat an oven. So we're going to let that preheat, and when it gets to the temperature, or it gets hot enough that I think it's okay, we'll pick back up. Okay, it hasn't been long at all, maybe 2-3 minutes, and the top is already so hot that you can't touch it. So as quickly as I can, I'm going to pull the lid up and I'm going to put my beans in there. But first I'm going to go ahead and get my spinner going. The on off switch is down here. Now my little sticks are spinning in there. I'm going to grab the beans. Now I'm just going to set this back here for now. And I'm going to dump these in there. Once you put the handle back down, the heat comes back on. So now it's just basically a sit and wait game. I can see through this lid. Now after every roast, you have to clean this glass, because after you roast, it's going to be smoked up. But I'm going to grab the camera so you can get a look what's going on inside here. And let y'all just watch what's going on. Okay. Now you can see this has a green light and a red light showing that there's power. And when that's green, it means it's heating, which it is right now. It's got to go a long ways to hit 500 degrees, if it even will hit it out here. Let's see if I can get you a good shot inside here. Let's move it over just a little bit. You can see, trying to get out of the glare. Maybe this side. No, that's worse. Maybe from this side. This is the whole purpose of using the popcorn popper. You want to keep those beans mixed up and moving so you get more of an even roast, and they don't get too done on one side and not the other. Just like when you're roasting anything, pretty much. So I'm going to set the tripod up, and I'm going to try to set y'all in one position where you can watch them turning colors and the shell flying around in there and everything. I hope I've got that where y'all can see. I've got some sun shining out here, so I'm not sure how well it's coming in. Still moving y'all around. Now you can already see that there's shells starting to come off of the beans, flying around inside there. So hopefully y'all can see that. Try to get you more on this light side. I may need to lower you just a little bit more. May just have to hold you for a minute. You should be able to see the stuff flying around inside there. If I can get down here, you can see the stuff flying around. You can also see, hopefully you can see, it's starting to smoke over here. I'm just going to have to assume that you can see in there. Okay, I can see the little shells flying around with the airflow and the heat. It should really start smoking here in a little bit. I'll back it up a little bit so you can see maybe some of the smoke too. But it'll start smoking really good here in a little bit. Let's see if I can get a shot inside right here. You can see my little flap. You see the shells that's catching on it as they blow around. Some of them are going actually through the hole into this can. But that's the whole purpose of that. You can see that the beans are starting to turn away from the green and more of a tan color. It's also smoking a whole lot more. The fragrance or the aroma is starting to smell a little more like coffee instead of I don't know how to explain the raw smell, maybe green grass and straw mixed or maybe something like that. I'm going to go ahead and move the bowl out of the way. Now we got a little camera light. I don't know if it's going to really help anything or not. So far it looks like we are getting a nice even roast. Looks like the beans are about the same color all the way around. The light really is not doing anything. I'm going to try moving you around over on this side. You're on the exhaust side where smoke is going to be coming out, or it is coming out. You might be able to see it. I'm going to back you up a little bit. But you can see with that smoke. Now if you have a vent fan, it would help a lot. Now I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear the crack on these beans. It sounds like popcorn popping, even though it's not popcorn. We're getting more smoke now. We're getting darker color. Again, I'm trying to get y'all the best place where you can see in there. I think that just blocked the light. There's a little bit of sunlight on this back side, so you can see back there. And you see how much darker we are now. Stuff's really starting to fly around in there. Smoking the lens up. I have to readjust this because I want y'all ready for when I have to dump the beans. Try to keep y'all on there a little bit. This is where I needed 2 cameras and another person to help me film. I guess I should have waited till Ash come home. But I really want some coffee. So I got that all the way adjusted up. Let y'all watch it from right there for a minute. You hear that pop? Can you hear it popping? I'm not going to go much past that first pop, but I do want a darker bean. But that popping noise is those beans splitting open. But we're going to keep going. I want a darker bean than that. More smoke. Back y'all up so you can see some more smoke. Hope y'all can see it. It's pretty smoky. Starts getting more smoke like that, you know you're getting to some good roasting. And once those beans start getting dark brown, you've got to really watch them, because it wouldn't take much to go further than you want to go. So when it gets to this point, I don't leave them. Now, like earlier, I went to the truck and got some camera lights out, which didn't do me any good, but I did go in the house and do a few things, and I come back out here to check these, and now that they're at this point, I won't leave. See if I can get y'all back closer in for a little bit. It'd be hard to do on this stand. You can see there's a lot of smoke now. I'm gonna back y'all up to where you're gonna be able to see what I'm doing. Probably right here. I think y'all can still see the beans. I hope so. Lots of smoke. We're at a milk chocolate brown right now. I want to go further. Some people may stop right here, but I think that's a little bit lighter than what I'm after. I have already heard them pop. When you start getting to the darker coffees, you're going to hear the second pop, and you would even continue to roast after the second pop if you want a good dark coffee. I don't know if you heard it. Can you hear it popping? That's still some of the first pops. I think you're just getting the trees now. I think if you get over here, all you can see is a glare. Right there is probably the best spot I can get you. So see, they're almost done. I'm just watching the colors of the beans. I'm smelling. I can see better from this other side because the sun's shining in there. Can you hear the popping going on in there? I think that's about as dark as I want to go. So what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this fan on high. I'm going to aim it toward this pan. I'm going to take this heat off. Be sure to grab some of these. Well, let's turn this off first. You can hear it popping. That's what we have right now. Get this back where I had it. We're going to take this off and we're just going to lay it aside. Now, the fan's going. Move my spoon out of the way. And we're just going to slowly drop them on the pan. And I'm going to stir. I'm actually going to get that pan and hold it where it'll blow all them shells out of here. And those, my friends, are some roasted coffee beans. I'm going to grab the phone so y'all can see them better. Alright, you can see the stuff that came off the beans. And you can see that it got underneath. So you have a mess to clean up. But I've got most all of the shell out of the beans. Now I could have actually stopped sooner if I wanted a little bit lighter coffee. This is going to be more of a medium dark. You can still see there's shell flying out. You see them flying out there. So I normally take the fan and hold right over the beans while I'm doing this, but I wanted to hold the camera and let y'all see the beans. They're all pretty consistent. There are some that's a little bit darker than others, but that could be because it's a different bean. See that one there? Split open. But I like the looks of them. They have a really good smell to them. I think I'm really going to like this. I will take out enough just to make 1 pot of coffee, so I can try them, and then the rest we'll let sit for a while. But that's how I roast my coffee beans. It don't take all that long. You know, it was a little more difficult with me trying to figure out how to film it. And I think the next time I do, I will have Ashley here so she can hold the camera. And it won't be me messing with the tripod. So we use we actually have a couple different coffee grinders. But we use, I believe it's called Burr coffee grinder. Works the best. And I always go through all my beans to make sure there's no rocks or stones, because if you get a stone in your coffee grinder, it can mess it up. And you know, there can be. But I've been lucky so far, and I really haven't seen anything like that. Here's one I'll probably pick out. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's more of just a shell. Not a lot of bean in there. But that's how I do my beans. Y'all be sure to go down there and hit the subscribe button for me. And next video, after these set for a while, we'll grind some up and we will make some coffee and give it a taste test. I wanted to mention on this homemade coffee roaster, it does have a temperature control knob up here, so you can control your roasting temperature. You could easily put a probe inside this to monitor your temperature, or you can just kind of, if it's got the degrees marked up here, you can kind of figure out where you're at with the knob. If you want to turn it down, you know, you turn it down to what you think. There are some blends that I roast, certain beans, that right before first crack, I turn the temperature down about halfway. And then after it cracks, I'll turn it back up. But you can play with your temperature during roast, and it can change your flavor, you know, the type of roast. So I just wanted to mention that. You do have that option with this type of roaster. You have some temperature control. And, you know, you also have your stir stick in there keeping those beans stirred. And I've already covered all this, but I just wanted to touch on some of the pluses of making one of these versus just using the air fryer. Because as you can see, it works pretty doggone well, and it's not that expensive. Everything here you can buy at Walmart. Everything. This was the OT box that I just happened to have, but you know, it all can be bought at Walmart. It's not that expensive, and you can make some awesome coffee with it without paying a big price. And after you roast coffee a few times, you've made your money back versus going to Starbucks or, you know, a specialty shop to buy this type of coffee. It's really good. Even though this is just a few hours, well, overnight from roasting my beans, it's smooth. It's really good. And it's just going to mellow out a little bit as time goes on, and it's going to get even better. But anyway, I'm proud of my homemade coffee roaster. Don't let anybody tell you that you got to spend a lot of money to roast coffee, because like I said earlier, you could do it in a pan on top of the stove. This is my preferred method. This works really good. And as y'all saw in the video, it can be done. Hey Tim, if you're watching this video, I wore this shirt just for you after I went and subscribed to your other channel. Thought you'd like that.